Hello students, myself Dipak Zade. Today in this lecture we will discuss in detail about resolution of force, how to resolve a force. In our first lecture I discuss types of force system is coplanar, non-coplanar, and then types of coplanar force system, that is what concurrent, parallel and general force system. I given just idea of how to find out resultant, basic meaning of resultant and slight idea of resolution. Resolution means basically what? When any force is given, it is a method of splitting up of a force along any two axes where effect of these two forces called as components and given force remains same. Means resolution is what? Method of splitting up of a force along any two axes without changing the effect of original force, and is called as what? Resolution. In one line we will write here, right? The exact resolution of force means what? It is a method of splitting up of a force, method of splitting up of a force along any two axes, without changing the effect of original force. Means what? Effect of given force and effect of after resolution what will get component remains same. Resolution is not difficult, but most of the students make silly mistake in the resolution. Therefore listen carefully, point by point I will discuss. If you will keep that much points in mind, you will never get a wrong resolution. Always you will get what? Correct components. Basically you must know sin theta and cos theta, and all you know sin theta and cos theta. Sin theta is what? In any triangle, right angle triangle, agar sin theta if you want to write, it is length of opposite side upon hypotenuse, and cos theta is what? Length of adjacent side upon hypotenuse. So first sin theta cos theta will write here, and then we will go for resolution, because what is required is simply sin theta and cos theta you must know. Suppose this one is what? Triangle. एक right angle triangle है, right? A right angle triangle. Say name of triangle is what? A, B and C. Here I have not represented any force, right? This angle is a angle theta. Now what you know? So length AC is known and angle theta is known. If length AC and theta is known, cos of theta how will write? Cos theta, because AC and theta is known, I am interested in this length AB and BC. So cos means what? Length of adjacent side, adjacent to angle is what? AB divided by what? Hypotenuse. Means it is what? AB upon AC. Means AB is equal to what? AC into cos of theta. Clear? Kuch doubt? All you are brilliant, you know this one, right? How to find out length of adjacent side. If length of hypotenuse is known and inclination of hypotenuse is known with say here AB, then length of this adjacent side is what? Hypotenuse into cos of theta. Similarly, sin of theta if I will write, so length of opposite side means what? BC upon hypotenuse, means length of opposite side is given by what? AC into sin of theta. Clear? So theta and AC is known. How will find out length of adjacent and opposite side? I will suppose inclination of this hypotenuse you know with vertical, say angle alpha. You know AC and alpha now. What you know? AC and alpha. Again if we will write what is cos of alpha. So in this triangle, length of adjacent side adjacent to angle is what? BC. So it is BC upon hypotenuse. That means BC is what? AC into cos of alpha, and sin alpha how will write? Length of opposite side. इसका opposite क्या है? AB. Opposite to angle AB upon hypotenuse is what? AC. That means AB is equal to what? AC into sin alpha. Correct? See, what is important? Whenever angle is given, then adjacent side जो है, it is hypotenuse into cos of that angle. ऐसा alpha you know with vertical, तो adjacent side is what? BC. It is AC into cos alpha, and opposite length of side AB is what? Hypotenuse into sin of that angle. When angle theta is given, now adjacent to angle is what? AB. So AB is what? AC into cos theta, and BC means opposite to angle is what? Hypotenuse into sin theta. Clear? Same thing is required for resolution. Only difference is what? These lengths are replaced by what now? Forces. Now, see here. Okay, how will exactly resolve? Sin theta, cos theta, all you know. This one clear. Now suppose these lengths are replaced by forces. Lengths are replaced by forces. That means on say body, एक body है where this one is corner of table वगैरह, right? And this point is what? A. And here force is acting like this, F. Inclined at what angle? Theta. Now if you are recalling triangle law of forces, क्या रहता है triangle law of forces? Suppose this one vector is given F1, one vector is given like this F2. In 11th standard you have studied F1 and F2, and I am interested in resultant. तो ये है tail, this is what? Head. One force as it is, I will represent say F1, इसका tail है, this one is head. अभी next force जो है will represent such that tail of second force will represent where? To the head of first force. That means if I will represent this force is what? F2. Now say this is A, this is B, this is C. The closing side of triangle, this is the closing side, AC. In opposite sense, same sense means what? A to B, B to C, C to A is what? Same sense. Opposite sense means what? A to B and B to C. So same sense means what? AC. Represents what? Resultant of these two, or these two are what? Components of this resultant. Same thing if you will apply here, कि this force is given means resultant is given. That means sides of triangle how will represent with arrowhead vectors? So one is from A to B, other one is from B to C. C to A means in same sense, A to C means what? In opposite sense. Clear? Done. This horizontal vector means what? Component of force F along x-axis. Vertical means what? Component of force F along y-axis. Now cos theta, sin theta we discussed, right? So cos of theta is what? Length of adjacent side upon hypotenuse means Fx upon F is what? Cos theta means Fx is what? F cos of theta. And Fy is what? We will use what? Sin theta, opposite upon hypotenuse means opposite is what? Fy, hypotenuse into sin of theta. Clear? Suppose angle is given with vertical alpha. So in this case Fy becomes what? F cos of alpha, because angle is with vertical. So vertical becomes what? Adjacent. Adjacent क्या होता है? Hypotenuse into cos. And Fx is what? तो opposite to angle है. Opposite to angle means what? Sin of this angle. Clear? Any doubt? Again see here. So whenever, from this one important is what? Whenever inclination of force is given with horizontal, listen carefully. When inclination of force is given with horizontal component is called as cos component, and vertical becomes what? Sin component. When inclination of force is given with vertical, then vertical component is cos component and horizontal becomes what? Sin component. Means angle is given with what is important. जिसके साथ में angle दिया है that component becomes cos component, other component becomes what? Sin component. But here again problem is what in representation कि force F is acting at A away from body. Fx is acting at A, correct है. But Fy is not acting on body. When you apply such force, actually Fy should be represented at point A. Means same thing can be represented like this. This one is what? A body. Suppose corner A. Force is what? F. Now if I'll construct here a triangle, so vertical is what? Fy. Horizontal is what? Fx. If I'll construct a rectangle, the length of this vertical side and length of this vertical side is same. So instead of representing Fy here, I will represent Fy at this location. So this is your Fy. That means when force F is acting at A, if we will replace it by these two components, both are acting where? At same point A, which is logically perfect, right? Angle is given with horizontal. So Fx is what? F cos theta. Fy is what? F sin theta. Angle is given with vertical alpha. So adjacent is what? Fy, F cos alpha, and other component is what? F sin theta. All are getting this one? This force what I represented here, this is away from the body. Away from body means what? Pull type of force. Away means what? Nature of force is what? Pull, right? Nature of force is what? Pull. Just check here. Given force is pull in nature, components are also pull in nature, away from point A. Is next important if nature of force is pull in nature, components are also pull in nature. Clear? Now if I'll represent force acting on same body at this point, but force how it is acting? Towards. It is acting towards. Towards means what? Such type of force is called as what? Push type of force. The given force is push, components are also push in nature. Means horizontal component will get where? Force F is towards A, component is also towards A. Horizontal, vertical component is also towards Fy. If this angle is theta, same thing, Fx is what? F cos theta, Fy is what? F sin theta. If angle is given with vertical, तो Fy जो है adjacent हो गया vertical. Fy is what? F cos alpha and Fx is what? F sin theta. These important points are what? Number one, if inclination of force, if inclination of force is given with horizontal, if inclination of force is given with horizontal, then horizontal component, is cosine component. Horizontal component is cosine component, and vertical component is sine component, Clear? If inclination of force is given with horizontal, then horizontal component is cosine component and vertical component is sine component. If inclination of force is given with vertical, then which component is cosine component? Then vertical component is cosine component and horizontal component is sine component. 2 points. Next, number 3. Nature of force. Nature of force is pull. Components are also pull in nature. Nature of force is push. Then nature of components is also what? Push. If given force is pull in nature, given force is pull in nature, then components are also pull in nature, pull in nature. And number 4 is what? All you are writing now. Number 4 is what? If given force is push in nature, then components are also push in nature. You can just see here, a pull type hai, so component is pull type, pull type. This is push type, components are also what? Push type. Clear? Now see here. Now I will represent pull and push type of forces in various quadrants. Quadrant number 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then we'll see angles are given, maybe somewhere with horizontal, somewhere with vertical. Then we'll see how to find out what? Components. This is very important now, right? That means total in each quadrant I will represent how many forces? 8. Once we'll understand this part, then you will not face any difficulty in resolution. See here now. Number 1, right? Force is acting at this point O. Force is what? F1, and its angle is what? Say alpha. Now horizontal component away from this point, vertical component away. Correct, na? As we are discussed, right? Same thing. Force is acting at O, away from O, pull in nature. Component must be pull in nature, vertical component also pull in nature. That means this component Fx is what? F cos of alpha. Angle is given with horizontal, so it becomes F cos alpha. This component is what? F sin alpha. Number 2, if force is given like this, F2, right? Now inclination is given with vertical beta. How force is acting? Nature of force is what? Push in nature, acting at this point, means vertical component must be push. Push means what? Chi. See here, this one is what? Push in nature, right? And horizontal component is also push in nature. The vertical component Fy is what? F2 cos of beta, and this component Fx, angle is with vertical, the vertical component cos, horizontal component हो जाएगा sin of this angle beta. Clear? All you are getting? See, 1, 2, now what? 3. Now I will represent force something like this. This force is acting at this point, say point is what? O, and its inclination is given with horizontal. Force is what? F3. So what is the direction of components? Bolo patapat. Nature of force is what? Towards. Components must be towards. If towards hai, so this horizontal component must be rightward, vertical component downward. Angle is given with what? Horizontal. Means Fx becomes what? F3 cos theta. Angle is with horizontal, horizontal component cos. Fy F3 sin of theta. Clear? Angle is with horizontal, horizontal component cos, vertical component sin. Number 4, again in same quadrant, means what? Second quadrant. Force is acting at this point, say point O. Force is away from the point, means components must be away from point O. Away means upward and leftward. Angle is given gamma with what? Vertical. Means vertical component becomes what? F4 cos of this gamma, and Fx is what? F4 sin of gamma. All you are getting? Yes. Number 5. Now force is acting like this at this point O. Suppose third quadrant and this one is horizontal, this one is what? A vertical, right? Angle is given with horizontal, this angle is what? Angle phi. If inclination is given with horizontal angle phi, the horizontal component cos, vertical component sin. Nature of force towards. The horizontal component must be towards, vertical component must be towards. What should be magnitude of this force? Fx means component F phi O. Angle is with horizontal, horizontal component is what? Cos of phi. Vertical component F phi O, sin of this angle phi. Clear? If force is acting like this, force is what? F6. At this point force is acting, means force is away from the point. Away from point means component must be away, vertical component must be away. Angle is given with vertical, say angle beta. Vertical component is what? Fy equal to F6. क्या हो जाएगा? Cos ना, because angle is given with what? Vertical. Vertical component cos, horizontal component sin. F6 sin of beta. Now I'll represent force in last quadrant, fourth quadrant, right? In fourth quadrant, if I'll represent, this is a case number 7, कि force is acting away from the point O. Force is F7. A horizontal, this one is what? Vertical. Angle is given with horizontal, right? What angle is given? Theta, phi, alpha, beta, right? So alpha is given, angle is what? Alpha. Now direction of horizontal component. Force is away from the point, component must be away from the same point. Angle with horizontal, the horizontal component F7 cos alpha, vertical component Fy, F7 sin alpha. This is what? Fx. 8. Force is acting towards this point O. If force is acting towards, components must be towards. Angle is given with vertical, angle beta. Force is what? F8. Which component is cos? बोलो फटाफट. Vertical component becomes what? Cos. ये towards से components must be towards. So this is what? F8 cos beta, and Fx is what? F sin of beta. This one you understood properly. This is very important, required in complete mechanics, right? Means always you have to resolve force. When you will draw free body diagram in equilibrium, in friction, in stresses, in all the chapter, basic जो है is what? Resolution of force. Clear? चलो, thank you.